Well, Mark, obviously you've been out a little while, but you're itching to get back now.
Yeah, it's. Touch wood. I've not been injured too much over the course of my career so far. To get a bit of a freak one like that, it was a dagger. But it's. I think it's been 7 or 8 weeks now, so it's been tough along the way. You know, watching the boys go out there and play, and you kind of come away from the squad a little bit socially and what have you. And it's just nice to get back involved with the boys.
Yeah, it was a bit of a freak injury, wasn't it? This was the end of the Cardiff game, if memory serves me correctly, and it was just a sprint, wasn't it? And I guess with the nature of the injury, that can happen.
Yeah, I mean, hamstrings, I think I've done 2 or 3 now over the course of my career, and it's a bit of a, like I say, it's a freak one. There's no real warning as to whether it's going to happen or not. It can just take one sprint, one stretch, and there you go, it tore. So in this case, obviously, I turned, sprinted, and it actually happened before I made the tackle, but I was, being a long man, I just lunged in there and got the ball anyway. But yeah, I knew I'd done something quite bad, to be fair. But yeah, I'm going to put that behind me now and focus on get back in that team and getting some results.
Yeah, funny because I remember when you actually left that day and you said, "Oh yeah, I've definitely done a hamstring." But with a hamstring, you don't really know what you've done until you've had the scan because there's obviously so many grades. And I guess there's not a lot you can do in the first couple of weeks, either, is there? There's not really much you can do to strengthen it.
There's not, no. I mean, a lot of it was gym based, and you kind of just got to take your weight off that leg. But I mean, I spoke to Matty, and I don't really like strengthening one side and not the other. So then you've got to just weigh a little bit. And there were bits and bats I could do, like go in the gym and go on the bike. That was one thing I've been doing quite a lot, as you've probably seen, which is, I'm not really a fan of being on the bike, to be honest, but yeah, it's just one of them things. But the rehab's been great. I feel good now. I was back in training last week, so get a full week's training on my belt this week, and looking forward to Middlesbrough.
I guess it's experience, isn't it? When you've played the amount of games that you've played, aside from when you look at some of the younger ones, you kind of know your own body, don't you? You know when you're coming back and what time to come back, and it's having that confidence to say that as well, isn't it? Because there's no point, coming back in a week early and then doing it again.
Well, there's 2 sides of it, in a sense that, like, you've got to look after your injury, you've got to be realistic and a time frame, because I actually felt quite good a few weeks after I'd done the injury. But again, hamstrings are so so unpredictable. You can just do it again in a flash. So I had to be careful with that, and also like the workload that you need actually before going into a game. Because me personally, I don't like training a couple of days and then being back involved. I need a good base of training, a good platform to go into a game physically and mentally. But yeah, I was training last week, and a full week's worth of training this week should be ample.
And you've been watching all the home games. You've actually been watching the majority of the away games as well. You've really been a captain whilst you've been injured, and that's good to see, because some players can be injured and not want to be involved, but you've really wanted to stay involved.
Yeah, of course I want to stay involved as best I can. I mean, I think the game after I got injured, I think it was Preston, was it? I think and it's not too far away from where I live, an hour and a half, something like that. So I've always wanted to stay involved throughout the course of this the duration of this injury. So I don't think I've missed many, to be fair. But you sat there watching, and you just want to get involved. And thankfully, my waiting period's over now, so I'm back, available for selection.
And how much are you looking forward to that? I mean, obviously the games that you've sort of missed, we've been in most of them and just haven't gone the right side of the results. And obviously now we've got a big week of 2 away games, Middlesbrough and Hull, before the home game against QPR. The games come thick and fast straight after a break. They
do, yeah. I mean, the games that I've missed and I've watched, some have been frustrating, because I think it's there for everyone to see. Like you say, we've been in them, in the games. It's just been that final part to actually get us that goal and get ahead. Some games have been great, obviously Birmingham. And you look at the ones like West Brom and Bournemouth, where the boys have performed really, really well, and really unlucky not to come away with something. Obviously, we got a draw against Bournemouth, but that was a bit of a scrappy game. So, it just goes to show that, we are good enough as a squad. We've got the players here, and it's just that fine details that obviously the manager and the boys have spoke about over the last few weeks, and we're aware of that, and we'll be looking to rectify that.
And should you be involved at the weekend, I guess the players are desperate to arrest this away form, because you can't rely on your home form. But these 2 games against sides in and around you, you'll be looking to pick up some points.
Yeah, you say teams in and around us, but I mean, I think up and down this league, like even going back to the Bournemouth and the West Brom game, like they're teams that you'd expect to be in the top 2, top 6. And you know, the lads have held their own. They've been well in the game. So it just goes to show that it doesn't really matter who you come up against. Take each game as it comes, and we know, and you have seen that you know, we can compete against any team in this league. So it doesn't change at the weekend. Middlesbrough away.
And just finally, Ronnie Edwards been away with England under 19s. I think he played at the weekend. Obviously, he's probably the one that's benefited from you being out the side. Obviously, you've got to try and displace one of 3 or 4 players at the back line, and I guess that's what it's all about, isn't it? You want people to be competitive for the places.
Yeah, of course, it's healthy. It's healthy competition. I mean, Ronnie's come in and he's been great. And, you know, that everyone's watched him play, and he's a different kind of player to what we've got. Me and Frank is different to us probably. But he's a great young talent. He's come in and done really, really well. You know, he's got a old head on his shoulders, and as you can see, really composed as well. Nothing really phases him, so he's been great. But you know, whoever's selected in the team for whatever game, we just want to get results. You know, there's no animosity amongst each other in who's going to play. It's not, you know, it's not that kind of thing. We just want to get that result, whoever's selected. So that's no different come Saturday.